In this lesson, we're going to look at the Stray Cat's breakout hit, Stray Cat Strut. This is what made him famous. Rockabilly, played on an upright bass. I'm showing it on electric. And he's doing Rockabilly slap, which is where you're pulling the string on the downbeat. And then for swung eighth notes, you hit the second eighth note with your hand back on the fretboard or back on the fingerboard on an upright bass. It's not like slap bass where you're hitting the downbeat on the fretboard. This is plucking on the downbeat, hitting on the upbeat. Like that. A lot of people don't get that. It's sort of backwards. I mean, if you're... It's not a slap bass part. It is rockabilly slap upright bass. I mean, it is a slap bass part. It's just in the rockabilly style, you're plucking on the downbeat, slapping on the upbeat. So we start off, I'm not going to do that for the lesson. I'm just going to show the notes and everything because it is the wrong instrument to do that on, or it doesn't sound right. So there's this walk down in the very beginning. It's just chromatic. And I totally screwed it up, so there's this walk down in the beginning. It goes like this. And you have that last eighth note anticipation back to the C. And that's where he does the groovy guitar lick. And then we get into the intro. Intro is very simple. C minor, B flat, A flat 7, and a G. We're doing 2 beats per chord. And this is the main riff of the whole song. Yeah, everybody knows it. Third time, this is just the intro. And then the fourth time, repeat that 3 times, and then the verse starts. And in the verse, we repeat those changes 5 times in a row. So this is real straight ahead, not a lot going on until later on. So you repeat that change 5 times, and after the 5th time, let's say this is the 5th time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going on. We're going to go to basically the same change, but in F. Only 3 times though. Here's the 3rd time. Same break. 1, 2, 3, and now solo. It's basically over the verse 5 times. 3, I think. 4. Goes on for a little bit. 5, and here we go to the break. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Chorus. So now in the chorus, this is where his bass line gets a little bit more sophisticated, or more jazzy, let's say. We start on an F, back to a C minor. So now, that's an F minor. We never even plays the 3rd, because he's really more setting up the C minor chord, I think. Then we get to the C chord. And this is interesting. So, that's the little riff on C minor. And then we walk up the minor scale, adding a chromatic to get back to the F chord again. Same motif. But here, that's a chromatic approach to the D7. We're going back down the minor scale, but now we're going to lead to the D7, okay? I'm walking right down the major scale of G, because we're leading to the G. It also happens to be the same notes in a D7. And then we sort of do the classic walk back up to C. So there you go. That's kind of interesting, the way he gets around a minor blues there, including the D7 chord, the 5 of 5. So simple to begin with, then it gets a little bit more complicated. We haven't even got to the solo yet. So once you're through with that, then we do the same Stray Cat, C minor, B minor, A flat 7, G, a few more times. Now, the next time around here is the bass solo. So let's just take a close look at the bass solo and see what notes he's coming up with. So the first 4 bars are pretty straight ahead. The first bar is just normal. This is the bass solo. Then he does a thing with a 5th. So on the walk down, if we're walking down the scale, he does 1, 5, and then that and its 5th, B flat and the F, which is the 5th of B flat, right? So, and then just like it ends. So it's just adding a little bit of interest on the second 2 bars. Now on the second 4 bars, it gets a little bit different. Now, one thing to point out in the bass solo, we're not really dealing so much with that B7 chord. He's sort of, Brian Setzer is giving him a little bit more room to play. So he's laying back on the chords a little bit. So the second 4 bars, we're going to walk up the scale. Then we get to that next bar and we get a chromatic. So the riff is, how does this work with the melody, or with the chords, I mean? When we hit this note, notice it's an A flat 7, so that's the flat 7 of A flat. And then it just resolves nicely to the G, and we're walking back down to C minor. Then let's see here. Just the minor triad. And then that seems simple on the surface. It's actually quite complicated. He's walking down melodic minor, coming up pentatonic minor. So it's when you have a 5 major chord in a minor key. So even though the bass is a dark lower tone, you can have all this interesting harmony going on in here with just these few bars. It's a cool solo. It's a nice walking bass line. All right, so now we're on to the next 4 bars. This gets, let's see here, where are we? Very simple. Basically outlining more C minor. The very last 4 notes there give us that major 3rd of the G7 chord at the very end there. Very nice way to round it out and finish it off. So he does some interesting, sophisticated chromatic stuff, also some just straight ahead stuff. straight ahead stray cats. It's very nice. Then we're getting into the guitar solo, and so he changes the bass line a little bit again. So we start off with that same riff. That little chromatic blues thing. And then just the regular walk down with the fifths. Then the A flat and the G. And you repeat that 2 times. And that's the guitar solo, not terribly long. All right. Then once we're out of the guitar solo, we are back into a chorus. So in this last chorus, he just does another variation on some of the same idea, maybe with a little bit different octaves, a little deeper, to give it a little bit more oomph. So we start off on the F. He's used that riff before. And then we chromatically come back down to the C minor. But we use that B natural there to sort of have that harmonic E minor sound there. Leading to the D7 with a major E walk down and then chromatic back up to the C. It's very tasty. It's a very nice bass line. Great way to play through a blues, minor blues progression. It's the turnaround of a minor blues. Sorry, it's a major ending there on the last little turnaround bit. So there you have the chart. There you have it, how he's doing it. Again, remember, he's doing the rockabilly slap on it. And it seems very simple and sort of raw, but when you get into the chorus, there's actually some sophisticated little note moving around, more jazzy sounding than the verses and stuff like that. So I really like it. It's very nice minor blues, and he does a good job walking through these changes. So there you have it, Stray Cat Strut with the Rockabilly slap.